Strong beard, though. Strong beard.
All right. Today we're talking with Zane Lewis. Zane is a 2012 graduate of Sydney High School. His senior year when he played in 2011, he was our team captain. He was also named by his teammates the Dan Smalley Hardest Hitter Award. And he was kind of the Swiss Army knife for us. He's got stats on being a quarterback, rushing the ball, catching the ball, lots of defensive tackles. So Zane was a little bit of everything for us during his years of playing football at Sydney High School. Zane, give us an update on what you've been doing since you graduated in 2012 and where you're at right now with the military.
Well, life's been quite exciting since 2012. I've been away from home ever since then, pretty much. Joined the Marine Corps right out of high school. Reason for joining, just like the majority of people who choose the Marine Corps specifically, is they had no plan. After high school, I wasn't thinking of college. My education really wasn't at the forefront of my mind. Just me naturally. I mean, as you know, I just need to be committed to something to keep me grounded. And, the recruiter pretty much saw that in me, little spitfire that I was. And he dragged me in. I bought into all of it. And I haven't been let down since. I owe everything to the Marine Corps and this organization, the people in it. Joining right out of high school, 2012, went in August to Paris Island, where the truest Marines are made. I mean, they got some Hollywood guys out there in San Diego, but they don't do the thing the same as we do. No, that's all love. But, Paris Island, 3 months, boot camp, that whole hellhole type thing. It was really fun. MCT after that, like some of the other Marines that I saw you do interviews with, very similar. Went to my basic training school after that as a finance guy, which you wouldn't believe because, as you know, my math skills were not the best in high school. But, working in the Marine Corps, working with money and lines of accounting was much more simple than algebraic equations. So, I don't really like to pick on myself a lot, but yeah, my math skills were not up to par. But working on a computer and those lines of accounting was pretty fun. Did that from 2013 to beginning 2015. Got deployed, Special MAGTF, Crisis Response, Africa. When all those airstrikes in Syria were going down, we were coordinating those communications and all those payments out when in Sigonella, and that was in Italy. I was there for 10 months. Should have been there for 6, but things happen. I was there for 10 months in 2015. Left CLB 6, went to Hawaii. Rough life, I know. It was beautiful out there, as you can imagine. Everything you've ever heard of Hawaii is true. The food is the greatest. The people are the greatest. The water is the greatest. Went to Hawaii. Was out there for 2 years. Was supposed to be out there for 36 months, but I got this opportunity. I got HISted, which basically means the Marine Corps is going to tell you where you're going to go next, which is normal. Instead of this time, I was, not to toot my own horn, but to be shit hot in the Marine Corps at your job or, at anything, PT, leadership, mentoring, honor, courage, commitment, living out those core values, just exemplifying yourself as a true professional. You get more opportunities, you get questions asked instead of getting orders set, right? So I got asked the question if I would like to volunteer for anything special. And of course, the first thing I saw was Marine security guard, which I do recall one of your interviews, a Marine wanted to do, which he should. If he's intelligent and physically fit, he'll fit right in, and we'd love to have him. Got the opportunity to do this in 2017. I was still in Hawaii. So I cut my tour short in Hawaii. I know the vacation ended, but the experience and, pretty much just the Marines and the brothers that I've met on this program so far overseas has been just beautiful. My first post, you go to 3 different consulates and embassies. Internal security is our primary objective as MSGs. So my first post was Maputo, Mozambique, which is in Southern Africa. Beautiful place, beautiful people. Again, can't really complain about it. Being away from home is rough, but when you have a purpose and you accept that purpose and you're not complaining, and you got all these wonderful men beside you making everything that much easier. Much like football, having your brothers, in that suck with you, it just takes away all of that missing home for the most part. But yeah, Maputo, Mozambique, South Africa was my first post. Second post was Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, another vacation spot. Again, everything you've heard about Rio de Janeiro, amazing. Nothing bad about Brazil. No, not at all. Went from Brazil, went straight to Bangkok, Thailand. And so, again, another torturous spot. I've had a beautiful tour. I'm very appreciative of it. I've learned a lot, met a lot of amazing people, Department of State and, DOD, both sides. Got to, work a lot alongside Army guys and Navy guys, and just, the experience has just been priceless. But yeah, that's where I'm at now. So, just waiting for my next opportunity to do something great. So we'll see what happens. But 20 years, 25 years is my goal. I want to stay in this organization as long as I can because I owe everything to it. So I'm trying to give back.
That was going to be my next question. And obviously, you're going to make a career out of this then, huh?
Yes, sir. Absolutely, without a doubt.
I like how you described yourself as a little Spitfire in high school. That's putting it nice. But we all saw something in you that we knew that you just needed that little bit more guidance, a little bit more reassurance, a little bit more growing up. And man, obviously you have found it. It's taken you places that I would imagine you'd never think of in your wildest dreams when you were in high school, that you'd be spending time in Hawaii, then have to leave there and have to go to Mozambique, even knowing where Mozambique was in high school. Rio de Janeiro, now you're in Thailand. That's wild, man. And finance? And you're a finance guy.
Right. It's a surprising thing. Let me tell you.
So, so obviously the Marine Corps has given you a lot. Talk about football. What did high school football mean to you?
Man, that question is an extremely dynamic one, and I don't think people actually realize it. So I don't want to go on a long tangent here, but I got to tell you, just like all the other guys, they said, in your previous interviews, they said it was their life, which, to me personally, it wasn't not even close. I think it taking me away from my life was probably what I needed. Like, again, like you said, I needed some grounding and some structure in high school. I needed something to attach myself to and my focus on, because it never was really on what, a young adult growing into a man should have been, being junior, senior in high school. But football, I just remember trying to lift a 50-pound bag of cement in my backyard for my uncle. We were trying to fill the pool full of cement. And I remember Keenan, being that all-star, even sophomore year, him coming out of the gate, just being a badass, just his play recognition, the way he read playbooks, just everybody just tooting his horn about how smart he is and how good he is. And I'm just sitting there, I couldn't even lift this bag of cement. And I remember Keenan saying, "Boy, you got to get in the weight room," and started laughing. And I remember my uncle laughing. And I was just like, I think at that point I was a freshman, so I'm not trying to say I was mature or anything. We all know I was not. But I think I took that message the correct way for the first time, maybe. That was the first time I think I took a criticism and I didn't take it personally. So football, that being an option, I never thought it was. Keenan was the one who did that. And then I thought, I figured out that I could do it. I saw coaches look at me, and they didn't look at me like I was an alien. They didn't look at me like I was less. They looked at me as an opportunity, and they saw that potential inside of me, And I was like, so you're telling me if I go in here and I lift these weights and I just try hard, like I put my energy into it and I get tired, I get better. Yeah, okay, well, let's do that. So I started with that. And it just escalated, got on the football team. 2 days came, was scared of 2 days like everybody is freshman year, sophomore year. But, it really structured me to know that, if I wanted to play the game, if I wanted to prove that I wasn't a failure, even though I wasn't focusing in school, I didn't have the best grades, I disrespected, my superiors, my peers and superiors, but I protected the people below me, which was a weird thing. I don't know like how that was a thing, but football gave me, I guess you could say, like my north and my compass, right? It was the thing that grounded me to take my mind off of, personal issues, things that I shouldn't have taken personally. They were all criticism to make me better. And football really gave me that growing pain of figuring that out, that people aren't out to get you, especially coaches and, your other players. And, I think the thing that I fell in love with the most about football was I wanted to like sacrifice everything I had for everyone around me. And if I didn't make a play to where I cramped or hit someone until I hurt, I wasn't doing it correctly, because I knew, Austin Elmore would be on the offensive line kicking ass and taking names. I knew that, Noah Strayman would sprint as a nose guard through the fucking line without caring about his health. And I'm like, I have to do the same, so it taught me commitment, taught me brotherhood. The core values of the Marine Corps literally reflect high school football. And high school football, it just brings you to a very simple, simplistic, broken down version, Barney style, of really just slowly figuring out your goals, taking responsibility, being committed, learning respect, showing respect, and becoming a man. So, I believe, football should be a mandatory thing, for all young growing men. I think it is. It helps you find out what you're into. It keeps you responsible, keeps you honest. And honestly, if I didn't play football, I wouldn't be in the Marine Corps today. I'll tell you that much. That's for sure. Especially my senior year, when, at the end of the year, I made that tragic mistake of, physically harming an individual. That if I didn't have football and I didn't know that discipline or didn't have that structure, that could have happened 2 years before. I could have been expelled out of school if I hadn't turned myself around as an individual and had, the staff, the principals, and everybody had so much faith in me. It was definitely football that turned that around for me. So very valuable experience. We'll never forget it.
Well, Zane, I'm unbelievably proud of you, man, for the person that you've become. Your message today was fantastic. I really, really enjoy it. I know a lot of people around here have enjoying these interviews, just being able to catch up with some of you guys of what you've been up to. And hopefully my players, maybe one or two of our players, your message will strike a chord with, because I think it was outstanding. I really appreciate the time that you've been able to do this. I know you've probably got a busy life over there also. I got one more question for you. Who's the bigger badass right now, you or Keenan?
Keenan, now, yesterday, and tomorrow. He always will be. He always will be.
That's awesome, man. Hey, I'm proud of you. Tell your family I said hi. And whenever you make it back to the States, make sure you look us up. Don't be a stranger, all right?
Yeah, absolutely. I won't. Thanks for getting in touch. I miss you, man. You're looking great. I remember you had your first kid when I can't remember what grade I was in, but I swear I experienced it. Right? Wasn't that then?
No.
No?
Different coach. I got no kids. I got dogs. Different coach.
You don't have a kid?
No, just 2 dogs.
Well, you got married.
That's what it was. It'd have been about that.
I was gonna say
it'd have been that time.
Something happened in your life where a chapter changed, and thanks. I appreciate you giving me this opportunity to send a message to your young guys. It's a really good thing you're doing. I really appreciate you having me on, man.
I love it. Hey, man, we'll talk to you later. Appreciate you.